Hey guys, this is Jake Wyer with Blue Coast Realty. Just want to give you a quick video, a little helpful hopefully. I just left a couple of my buyers, they're first time home buyers, and the exact same questions keep coming up with all of my buyers really. And it's really just kind of like people want to know that they're asking the right questions on such a huge purchase as a home. So let me just get right into this. I hope it's helpful. If you have questions, go ahead and let me know in the comments. I will respond to them as I see them. And like I said, I hope this is helpful for you guys. So the first question that keeps popping up is they want to know, number one, how much house should I be buying? How much house can I afford? So what I tell you, and I'll tell them, is the exact same thing. Make sure you talk to a local lender, sit down with them, give them your financial situation, and they will go ahead and calc out the max amount that you can afford. Keep that in mind, max amount. That's a big issue. So it's good to have. Absolutely, that's the first stop, is to ask a lender these questions. But what I really want you guys to keep in mind is that's the maximum amount you can spend on a house. What can you really afford monthly on a payment? That's what you need to be aware of, because this is going to be a house payment. It's going to be with you for a long time. So keep in mind, be comfortable with that house payment. That's the biggest piece of it. And then work backwards. That's how much house you should be able to afford. You don't want to have to make decisions like, can I send little Jimmy to preschool, private preschool? Can I afford swim lessons? Can I afford to go out to go eat with my friends? That's not what homeownership should be about. You should be able to make sure you're comfortable making that payment every single month on time. So that's number one. Number two, the question is, how many houses should I see? Well, that's kind of a personal preference. Some people are a little more timid as far as making huge decisions like this. So I tell people typically that if you have a very good buyer's agent that's listening to your wants, your needs, what you are actually wanting in a house, they'll narrow that number down to quite a much smaller number than you might think. Probably 5, 6 houses. They'll show you the very best on the market, have a very good buyer representation because they'll know the market. They'll show you the very best 5 houses. They'll listen to your needs, and they'll show you the best on market. They're not going to drive you around to 50 houses just so you can see everything that's on market. Some of the stuff you don't need to see. It's overpriced. It doesn't meet what you guys want. It's next to a gas station. There's all kinds of things that your real estate agent is probably aware of. You're seeing it online. You're seeing Photoshop pictures. They probably know a little bit more about the property than the average person. So listen to your real estate agent. They'll narrow it down to the very best properties, and they'll give you an idea. A lot of the times, you're going to find the very best property, the first property that you see. It happens all the time. And most of the time, people aren't ready to pull the trigger on that first property. They want to see a few more. And I totally understand that. What I'm telling you, and I say this to everyone, is make sure you make that offer. If you find the house, even if it's the very first one, feel comfortable making that offer. You have a due diligence period, even if that offer is accepted, on average is 14 days, at which point you can pull your offer back off the table, no penalty. So don't miss out on that perfect house. I see it all the time where they say, oh my God, that was the house. I should have bought it. It went under contract. It's too late. So now we're trying to find another house that's comparable to that. So make that offer, especially in today's market. Today's market in Wilmington, like a lot of places, is extremely competitive. We're getting multiple offers on the good properties within days. So don't hold off. If you find a property you love, make an offer. The next question I get a lot of the times is, how do I get paid? As a real estate agent that's representing you as a buyer, I get paid by the seller. The seller's going to pay the buyer and seller commissions. So this is one of those few times in life, go ahead and hire the very best because you can afford it. It's free to you as a buyer. Free to you as a buyer, I'll repeat that. So you will not pay my commission. You're not going to pay me anything. I do get paid well for what I do. And we get paid by the seller side of things. So this is the one time in life, feel free to hire the very best because you can absolutely afford it and you should have the very best representation you can get. The other question is kind of more of a nuts and bolts question. A lot of people are asking me, how long is this process going to take? We sit down, we sign an exclusive buyer representation agreement, and we get in the car and we go take a look at some houses. How far from this day to when I get keys? And on average, I tell people 2 months, and that can vary wildly. It can go back and forth either direction. Some of these close in as little as 15 days, start to finish, if you find the house you love. Some of these are going to take a few months. So the average loan, conventional loan, is going to take 30 days start to close with a good lender. unless you're going to be using a government-assisted loan, such as a USDA loan or a VA loan, because there's a second set of eyes looking at these, and to be honest with you, it's got government involved, and that always takes a little bit longer. Those are typically about a 45-day close with a good lender. So those are the major questions. So to recap, how many houses should I look at? You should look at as many houses as you feel comfortable with, but make sure you're making those offers as they come in, and the offers on the houses that you do like. Don't be afraid to put those offers in. Absolutely hire good representation is free to you as a buyer. Have a great buyer's agent who listens to your wants and needs, and they'll make the process much easier. I guess actually one other question that keeps popping up is, well, I found the house I love. How much should I offer? What's a non-insulting offer? I want to get a good deal. So I understand that. Everybody wants a great deal. Like I said, today's a seller's market, a very strong seller's market, multiple offers, at and above asking. So we're in that kind of marketplace. But again, this comes back to having a good agent. So that good agent you're going to have is going to have an eye on the market, have a finger on the pulse of the market, and they're going to pull the comparables and tell you exactly what that home should be marketed at. There's plenty of houses that are put on market way above where they should be, and your agent should be able to tell you that. So what should you make an offer for? Make an appropriate offer for the home based on today's market. That's what I can tell you. I would highly recommend against making offers that might be very low based off the comparables. You will oftentimes insult a seller. Keep in mind, this is someone's house. So, you know, it's not like a lot of possessions. This is something that's very personal to people. So people can take, take issue with people coming in below what they think their home is currently worth, and they will be sometimes insulted. And you might not get a counteroffer. You might not get another chance to make a first impression on this house and these sellers. So make an appropriate offer. Don't go too low. Base it off of, you know, what the home is really currently worth. That's what I would say to you. So I hope all that's helpful. I hope that these questions actually answer a little bit as far as, you know, getting into the marketplace, feeling comfortable, making offers. Like I said, get good buyer representation. That's probably the best thing I can tell you is talk to a good lender, good buyer representation as far as a solid buyer broker. They're going to keep you out of trouble. They're going to steer you right. They're going to make sure that you get a good offer, a good home. And actually, they will put you in touch with the rest of your team. That's essentially what it takes to buy a home. Good lender, good attorney. You know, you got good closing transaction coordinators, things like that. So feel free to reach out to me if you are interested in looking at anything here in the Wilmington area. I'd love to be of assistance to you. Again, this is Jake with Blue Coast Realty, and have a great day.